ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు కూడా నేను ఏసీ వేసుకొని ఫ్యాన్ వేసుకొని తలుపులన్నీ మూసుకొని కూర్చున్నాను వేడికి.
అంతే కదా.
అది కింద
ఒకప్పుడు
పైన
హైదరాబాద్కి వస్తే ఎంత బాగుండేదో,
చల్లగా అనిపించింది. కూడా
చల్లగా హ్యాపీగా ఉండేది. ఇప్పుడేమో చాలా కష్టం అయిపోయింది.
ఇప్పుడు అంతా ఆపోజిట్ అయిపోయింది.
అదే కదా.
ఆ వర్షాలు పడ్డా కూడా చెడగొట్టడు వర్షాలే. అన్ని మామిడికాయలు పోవటము, వీటి మళ్ళీ తోలిపోవటము, పాపం సీజన్ లో ఇవన్నీ పోవటం ఇదైపోతున్నారు పాపం. అది ఫ్లాట్ ఇది ఎక్కువైపోయింది. ఎండను బాగా ఎత్తు పెరిగిన కొద్దీ ఎండ బాగా సూట్లు కొట్టేస్తుంది లోపలికి.
అవునా?
అవును.
ఓకే. అన్నిట్లో వచ్చింది ఇప్పుడు. ఎవరు రాలేదు అనుకున్నా ఇవాళ, అంటే అయిపోయింది అనుకున్నారేమో.
అదే అందరు అయిపోయింది
అనుకుని ఉంటారు. అయినా ఫోన్ వస్తుంది కదా. కొంతమంది అందరూ వాళ్ళు వచ్చారు నిన్న. పర్లేదులే, నీతో మాట్లాడుతున్నాం కానీ. ఓకే, అది కావాలి. అది ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ కూడా లైవ్ వెళ్ళాను, ఎవరో ఒకళ్ళు వస్తారు అక్కడ కూడా. అదే అక్క చాలా సేపు పట్టింది అనమాట. అంటే అన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ అంత మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళకి తెలిసినట్టుగా చెప్పవటం. కానీ అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి ఆయన గురించి చాలా పక్కన ఎవరు చెప్తే అప్పుడు ఆపిందంట వరి అంత. So we talked about self-knowledge, India traditions, అవన్నీ చెప్పాను అన్నమాట వాళ్ళకి. అందరూ విన్నారు. The book is going to be released pretty soon. That's what we talked about last time. The 30 problems that the entrepreneurs have. And what does ancient wisdom tell us about each one? It's about inner self, and then really finding out what is going on with our interior, even in the circumstances of modern living conditions, either we are establishing a business or earning money and having problems from it, and all that we kind of presented every problem that was discussed, and then all the solutions that were put in forth. I kind of presented there, and a lot of people were there. And then I wanted to specify some problems and discuss. And then they said, no, no, tell us all the 30 that were listed. And then, okay. And then I briefly touched each problem. And then we went on showing that, the book is compiling to the KDP, that is Kindle publishing. And once it is really published that way, people will be happy to receive that. It's going to be worldwide release, and then people can, anybody who's an entrepreneur, who will have something all the time anyway, and those people will be happy that I kind of touched on it. And this is not a question and answer, you go do it. You have to understand it and imbibe into it, and then make sure that is. So there was a gentleman who was telling that he was going to event with a friend, and suddenly he was worried because the traffic is delaying them, because he is going to be late for the event, but his friend told him, we will be reaching when we can reach. What's the problem of worrying about it? That thereby he stopped worrying, and then he needed somebody to say that, and then he stopped. I said, why can't you be present and say, I'm going, I am in the traffic, and then if I'm delayed, I cannot really help it. But if I, by me worrying, it's not going to take me to the place. That kind of awareness can make him, he will do whatever that he could do to go there. But the point is, in the modern life, we worry about too many things and let our sympathetic tone build up. And that's why our heart health and everything is getting damaged. That's what we saw that it is like that. And then he told me he forgot his keys or something very valuable right there. So again, why did you forget to begin with? Because you are not aware of it. You see, then mute yourself. Mute yourself. Lot of noise. Okay, so that is a point that I talked about. It's ancient wisdom is about knowing ourselves, who we are, and then also once we know that we are not just this body-mind complex, once we are really inner self, that energy, that consciousness, that soul, that life force, whatever we call it, that is us. Ancient wisdom is about talking about that all the time. You have to be able to do that. There are so many ways for that, right? It's not just about external things. It's about internal aware of what's going on, and slowing that thought down, and then using it appropriately. That kind of things all come. So using that instance, I try to point out, they were not getting it. It's about themselves. They were looking inside and finding it. That is what we told about. But then they're not really paying attention that they have to look inside by themselves. It's not about listening to other people. It's not about what Dr. Rao said or somebody said. No, it's about what is happening with you in that moment. That moment to moment awareness, people find it very difficult because the mind is going on its own, and they have so many things on their mind. They worry. The situations make them. But this practice that we deliberately cultivate gives us that inner resilience where you can sit down and say, okay, I'm going to reflect on this, and then that will be wonderful. So we talked about that, and the book itself is going to be called um, Sacred, Sacred Sanctity. So it is a good book in the sense you have a sacred strategy. What is the sacred strategy? First of all, have a control of your own thoughts and your own things by being really you. You are not just the physical body, or you are not just the thoughts coming and going on all the time. That is the mind. We think we have a build up a big big uh, personality, ego, and all that, and we operate from that. But this book is talking about the presence here and now. You have that presence, and bring the presence into life so that you can solve the problems of the mind, like overthinking, like anxiety, depression, and all that. They are all real phenomena of the real life. But then modern things, they tell you, you got to be ambitious, you got to be anxious, you got to all that. But that is all the mind. But you can be really purposeful in your life, or what you want to do with your life, and then you can be aligned with that value, with that inner calling, and then lead the life. That is the essence of what I was talking about. I was talking about inwardness and talking about being aware of what's going on, and I was talking about the purpose in life you are aligned to. When you are aligned to that, all the other things seem to be pretty simple and easy to do. That's what the ancient talked about. First, you realize who you are. That's a big deal. Okay, it's not about what tastes, what roles, or what kind of attitudes you have, what kind of reactions you have. Usually, we think that's what we are. My inner thing is I'm a angry person, or I'm a peaceful person, like that. But they are all attributes. What is real is, in human beings, we have a mind that can go and think about the past and live there, or we have a mind that can go forward and be anxious about things that may come around. But we have intelligence to see that's all gone, that's all going to come, that kind of thing. And we have intelligence to stay in the present moment and live the present moment well. That's what about ancient wisdom is. They were having a very simple outward life and a very rich inward life. But then, if you think I know so much, I can have the solutions for all that, and then, but always you are completely rattled by small things, are really worried about things that are happening in our body, in our mind. That is where we have really stepped down from our conscious self to our mind, our thoughts, our emotions. We identify with that, and then stress hormones and stress and burnout happen. Okay, so somebody asked me, tell us simply what is it that you want us to learn from the ancient wisdom. I said, take some time as a human being every day, and in the morning, in the evening, calm yourself down, your mind. Simply calm yourself down, and then turn inward and see what egogenic thoughts going on, feelings going on. That's where you will be really understanding that you are reacting the way you are reacting to the world, whatever the problem may be. And then, having separated from that thoughts and emotions and everything, you are able to be quiet and peaceful, joyful, and happy inside, no matter what the circumstances are. And then, using your mental power, using your physical power, emotional power, everything, you can attend to the problem that is present to you as an entrepreneur, and you are able to see through the problem, understand the problem better, and also find the solutions. We have so much scientific knowledge. We have so much ancient knowledge. Combining that, we can live a life that is free of stress. That's That's what I was pointing out. But it doesn't happen just like that. You got to understand why I am reacting the way I'm reacting. What is the mind I developed? How can I understand it and then react less? See that kind of thing. Like Buddha said, outward life is going to happen. We may lose our jobs, we may lose our properties, we may lose our relations. So many things happen to us in life. But how we react is completely different when you compare with our ancients. We are much more worried, unhappy, and conflicting with each other or with each relation. And then also, we are not really going after the real things that make us human beings. Human beings are not about reactive human beings they are there, but the evolution has produced us not to be reactive that quickly and also respond with intelligence of solving any problem. Suppose we don't have food, we have the means to get some rice and then cook it and eat it, right? Or people go and hunt and get the meat and eat it, according to circumstances. So there are so many ways you can take care of it. But then, if that is the only thing in life, then you are missing out as a human with your own intelligence not being used. See, that's what I was focusing on this book, because information overload is the second problem we took it. That's a current real problem, right? There's so much information flowing through our phones all the time. How are we doing it? How are we really able to really go through the stuff, and then really say, okay, this is what I'm going to really pay attention, and this is what I'm not going to allow it to come into our mind. That means you got to understand what are the intimations or what are the notifications that you want to allow, and what are the things that you don't want to allow. So you have to actively figure out what is my life, what is my purpose, who are important to me, and that's all. That is the discipline yoga, everything will teach you to. Then you say, I don't need to respond to all the notifications that are coming in. I can filter them out. Maybe I'm in a group on a clubhouse. That group's notifications I may allow. Rest of them I don't want to. So like that, having understanding what is going on outside, you need a clear mind. And then to figure out what is good, what is not, you need a discriminatory vivek. That is there underlined, but you have to let it come. But if you really smother it with a lot of thoughts, you will never be able to understand who you really are, what you really want in the life, and then how you see what they said. As a human being, your aim life is Atmana Mokshartham. That means Atma is beyond this mind. That is what you are. So quiet them down. And that is yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. In yoga, modulation of the mind are stilled, so that you can really come out like a tada drashtu the avastha. That means your inner self comes out. Okay, because it is all the dark clouds that of the thoughts are taken away, then you will be coming with that. And with that, Swadharma, what is that aligned with my inner self, I'm going to do it. I have the intense thing about making wellness is a common thing, and everybody have not forgotten wellness, and then they're first taking care of that, and then they live happily in a good body and really understand what is wellness is. For me, wellness is holistic. You got to have good, no disease in the body, and actually body is strong, flexible, and energized, right? That is the physical body. Mentally, I don't want to go all over the place. I don't want lack of focus. That's the problem we talked about. So we understand that through yoga, we got to be ethical, moral. You have to take care of the body and then breathe deeply, and then withdraw the senses. Then you go to the mind. In the mind, you concentrate all your thoughts, and you stay with one thought. That is the meditation. And then beyond one thought, you go to the silence. Even if you do it in the morning, and then in the evening, you will have relatively very stable mind, not reactive, but really focused on what you are doing, and then gets things done. That is the essence of it. So wellness is in the mind being focused, laser focus. You can become. You can be in the flow. I'm going to do some classes on what is flow. How come we are not focused? Most of the distractions is happening all the time. That is a big problem now. Attention deficit. People are not able to pay attention even for a few minutes for any talk, any substantive talk. They want everything. They don't really realize how restless their mind is. Why can't you just sit down and close your eyes and be calm? That become a big deal now. Okay, especially children. We are giving them the phones, and then they are always connected with something, information, right? And they put all this data in their mind, and then that has its own generation of thoughts and going on constantly. So they go crazy if things do not go smoothly. They don't have the capacity. I can put this phone aside and then be quiet for 5 minutes. 5 minutes they cannot. So that has become a real problem. So what we are saying is, understand how the ancient life was, understand how they treated reactions or whatever coming from outside, and then understand the beauty of silence in the mind, and the nurturing nature of that silence in our mind. Even my family members, I talk about be quiet and silent, but then they say, my thoughts go on continuously. Because when we are growing up, when we are really becoming that old woman, old man, we allow these thoughts to build up all the personality, thoughts, and all that. That structure of thought is like a cemented road. Same thoughts. You thought about, never wanted to keep quiet, never wanted to have yogic lifestyle, or never wanted to have any religion teaches you have to transcend your ego, and you don't want to do that, and you allow these things to grow, and then they bother you when you are old because you already built up those bridges. Excuse me. So it's a question of not understanding how to handle our own assets, the body, the mind, the heart. And that's why people are really having problems when they grow up, when they become old. They don't have any work. All that they have is all these thoughts going on continuously. That's a real phenomenon. In America, I've seen so many geriatric patients, they cannot sleep because these thoughts are bothering them. They need a medication. That's why they come and ask me, doctor, give me some medication. I can catch some G's, some kind of rest and all that, But once you give the medications, they get used to that, right? And then that becomes building on that. They will develop tolerance. They have to take more and more medication. That medication has other medications interactions, or this medication can cause real serious problems of putting them down completely. So there are so many problems with that. Or people may drink, people may smoke, people may do all the medications. Really, when you are really understanding what the ancients lived neurologically, calmly, that is itself is a richness, I consider. So I don't have to take anything. Even I'm now close to 70, but I don't have to, right? So that's a very, very important thing for modern life. Because many people cannot sleep. Many people do not stop the chronic diseases progressing very fast. You cannot stop it. They will go on if you don't really take care of the causes. And then you succumb to that, the chronic disease. Mental illness, That's going on pretty much, right? A lot of people are having this mental illness, and then so that increase in mental health illness is increasing quite alarmingly, even in young people. Depression, they want to commit suicide. Anxieties, they want to really break their head sometimes, you know. So lots of they shoot in the head because the head is going on all the time. Real suffering I see, really real suffering and real worsening of the chronic diseases, real worsening of the other things are happening. So once you understand all that, then you will say, okay, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to really understand this. It is possible. Okay, all you need is be inquisitive about what is that they are talking about. Why are they bringing ancient wisdom? Do I have to go back and live there? No. Only the insight that was provided, the knowledge that was learned, that be open and study that, investigate that, and find out the truth of the matter, and then you'll be able to do that. Okay, so that's what I was writing in this book about 30 problems. And the first problem was burnout and really exhaustion, emotional exhaustion, uh, physical exhaustion, or psychological exhaustion. Because suppose you are in a country like Yemen, or you are a country like Ukraine, country like a war is happening, and then tremendous amount of Gaza, for example, all these places are there where tremendous physical deprivation, no food, no water, no that is really happening right in front of our eyes. And how do this is imposed hunger, imposed poverty, imposed destruction of the assets and all that. When would these children be seeing normal life? When would they grow up to be? They can't even survive, so those kind of things are happening because man is doing something to other man. That's why this is happening, and so many people are dying on a daily basis, and so many conditions are created where kids cannot grow up normally, not having a good education or leading their life. None of that. Okay, that is there too. So we have been seeing that. See that is happening quite a bit. But understanding why we behave the way we behave, why we are creating wars, and then working towards reducing that. That is there too. So looking back, understanding what they talked about life, what they talk about the way to handle so many problems that were happening to the human being, and what's the fundamental root causes of the mind has the 95% of the problem. So if you understand your mind and make it a powerful asset, then you will be doing a lot of things by yourself or others and all the positive things. Whereas if you turn the mind negative, if the mind is really negative in so many ways, it can hurt you too. So your own mind can be your best friend or best enemy or worst enemy. Okay, best friend and worst enemy. That's what we all understand. But are we doing anything to manage that mind, which is compiled of thought? Are we able to handle the thoughts so that they don't dominate us? It's already happening. Now so much computerization has happened. Very soon we will not be using the mind, but we are listening to the machines. Then your own mind can turn against you, and then your own mind can be completely quiet. Suppose you learn techniques where you deliberately get up in the morning and be in awareness and use the thought and also end the thought and dump it after you're done at the end of the day. That is what the technique I was talking about. Be aware in the morning, be attentive to whatever you do during the day, and at the end of the day before you sleep, vacate your mind, all positive, negative, and then go to sleep. Then body has a chance to recover, mind has a chance to recover, all that ama in Ayurveda they call ama. That is more like a toxins accumulated in the body due to regular life we lead every day, right? And that ama is naturally cleansed by uh, uh, our physiological mechanism if you allow it to work through. So that's why the sleep cycle is there. You work during the day, and then if you are very attentive, you may not have to have so many dreams, right? It's a relatively calm mind, and then that calm mind is kind of, uh, it's really makes your physiological mechanism work on the mind and the body and take away the toxins. That's the purpose of the sleep. If you don't allow it, then the natural phenomenon of cleaning up is not there. You age faster. Also, you are not having this tranquility, this quietness, this peace that happens because of you have slept very well. You wake up in the morning really energized, right? So for me, wellness is having the body that is strong and flexible and all that. And then once you have that, having that body and everything, you are really feeling good about your body and feel the energy to go and do stuff. In the mind, you don't want the mind scattered. You want the mind to be focused, whatever you are doing. So, good body, good mind, and then good heart. Okay, and you are compassionate, you are kind, you are friendly to people, and all that. So you have harmony with other people, with the community that you are living in, with friends and family, neighbors, and all that. You don't have enmity. You don't have real negative feelings about people and all that. So then you are tranquil inside too. So having a good body, having a focused mind, having a kind heart, and harmony in the society, all those things are very. And also, whatever you do, it agrees with your values. Whatever you do, it gives you satisfaction that I'm being functionally good to people and all that. So you have happiness in your work, happiness in your body, happiness in your mind, happiness in your heart. That is the whole thing I talk about wellness. That is, you can be proactive about it. You can maintain the body by eating right, by resting right, by sleeping right, and by breathing and all that, right? You can keep your mind quiet because deliberately you are trying to be quiet every day, then that becomes the habit of the mind. And you are really opening up your heart and looking at the human problems as human problems. And because of this, we are all in one human category. We want to work towards relieving the suffering and the pain that we cause ourselves lots of times by ourselves, human beings. If Gaza is happening because some of these human beings are going there and then doing that to the other human being, right? But their inner nature of animosity, hate, and all this, these are causing it, right? So we understand that we try to prevent wars like that in our own land, wherever we are living. That is what the inner resilience is given by ancient ways of doing yoga or asana, whatever exercise, and then deep breathing, keeping the mind quiet and easy and simple, and then also working any purpose that we have, inner calling, unselfishly. So these are all integrated yogas. How you do the body is the hatha yoga. How you do the mind is the raja yoga. How you really have this feeling of something bigger than is really there, and then your reverence to that life, that is the bhakti yoga. You love with your heart. And when you have harmony and everything with other people, then you understand we are all one. That is the gnana yoga. So what you do, how you work with your body, with your mind, with your heart, and then how you work with the society, everything is harmonized. And then you don't have the real lack of peace because of not understanding it. That is why they said avidya kama karma. If you are ignorant of these life's fundamental principles, then you live life according to your ignorance. So to really dispel the darkness of ignorance, you light up the light of knowledge. That is the ancient wisdom I'm talking about. Modern scientific of wisdom is there. Even that is also knowledge, right? We light up so suppose we want to manage something, we kind of found out how that works and then use that properly. That's the science. Then we use that science, don't we? Like that, we are forgetting the ancient wisdom accumulated in our own human tribe. And that was expressed, that was put into so many ways that we can receive it. Just reading and quoting is not enough for me. Am I living it? Am I putting into my life practice? That is important, And I'm also asking other people to pay attention to this, bring it into modern life, because modern life needs this, and apply that, then lead a fulfilled, full life that is peaceful, happy, and joyful. Okay, that's what we are trying to do with this book. As I said, it's a very well illustrated, and also there are so many art meditations, so many things that you could do physically with the book, and it will guide you to do instructions, right? And also some videos maybe. So those kind of things we are trying to put it together. That is taking time, because 30 problems, it's not one problem, 30 problems we are dealing with. So a lot of it is manuscript is ready, but getting the cover and everything ready, and then getting the KDP accept all of that, that is being done. Okay, so very few days I'll be releasing the book, and you can always have a book launch meeting I'm going to have, and I'll invite all my friends to come to that and then participate in that. And then once you have the book and you read it, there should be ongoing help of dealing with each problem. Okay, and also they could be live. People may not have just reading; they identify this is actually happening in my life, and what to do is there. And when you are implementing the solution, I want to be available. So there are so many ways, retreats, groups, and discussion groups, and all those will be arranged for you. And you can join, and they will have instructions. You don't have to be necessarily involved me. You can have your friends and relatives and form a circle and talk about this. That's the kind of thing I want to bring it out so that whoever wants to use it, they can use it. Yeah? But if they use it, and they apply that wisdom properly, and they will definitely see the solution for the problem that they are living with. You don't have to go to a doctor, you don't have to, okay, but all you have to do is turn inward, be aware, be present. Okay, do everything from the presence, not from the pressure. Okay, do everything because you have a purpose, not just like that. So these things I talk about in the book. So hopefully that all makes sense for you. And as I open the book, I'll be telling you where I really I'm talking about individual problems and all that, and I'll be arranging such a way that is a question and answer back. Whoever has answered whatever, we're going to talk about that. Hi, Janet. So it's a question of using this book practically. That's why this is not a one-time sit-down book. You can go through that, just see what is that he's talking about. But then if you take it like something happening in your life, you are anxious, for example, about something. You go and look at that, and then see what did you ancients say about anxiety. They talked about anxiety doesn't take you anywhere. It only exhausts you. It only keeps you worried. Instead, step back. Who is having this worry? My mind or my inner self? Then you will know it is the inner self is not having that anxiety or mind. Then you can objectify it and look at it and slow down. Problem is going into the cyclic loop of thinking. Okay, that is the one we have to break and come out and look at, okay, yeah, this happened, this is there, what is that I can do? Instead of going over the same thing again and again and getting anxious and getting our energy. So we have to say, okay, this is there, and what is the root of it? Why it is happening? What can I do about it? And then you do it, then you have saved your inner energy, and your inner turmoil is not there. So you have a lot of command over the situation. Lot of energy otherwise wasted in worry is used, right? So it's a question of doing that. Then you further, suppose you are overwhelmed, information overload. There is a chapter for that. And suppose you say, I cannot make a decision. Now, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm supposed to make decisions. If I make decisions, I may lose this money. If I don't make a decision, I may lose this customer. Like that, you are in a indecision mode what to do. So I want people to consult it, not like a complete answers for everything, no, but the suggestions that were used in ancient time and how they developed into wisdom. Thousands of years they lived this. So we can take advantage of it. Basically, they were quiet most of the time, had a good relationship with the nature, and they were not going after every whim that the mind presents, but they were able to go only the swadharma, the inner aligned purpose in life. Why I'm here, what I'm doing, what I would like to do. I'm here, I was born in a family, but I wanted to become an actor. That's fine. You want to do that. And be really oriented towards that. And then you'll be able to do that. Okay. So I was telling Janet, everybody, last night we had a discussion about my book, which is called Secret Strategy. Sacred strategy. It's about being in the present and then doing everything because we are purposeful, not really forced by anybody. So all the 30 problems they wanted to know what are those problems I'm talking about. So I stated the problem and then the solution that was proposed through ancient wisdom. I presented it and talked a little bit about few of them, and also presented people to ask me questions on the problem. Then somebody told me that they forgot about these things and the awareness I talked about. That kind of thing really helped people to understand the context of the full, book. And like I said, don't take it like a one-time read, but take it like, is there anything, like I said, somebody is really worried about the result of what's going to happen if I do this way, that way, and all that. Don't be overwhelmed by the worry. Be in the moment and work with the best of ability that you have and leave the results alone. See, that's what the Karmanyavadikaraste Mafuleshu Kadashana Krishna said, right? Process. Do your job. Your job is to do it. That's all. But don't worry about the results, right? But now what we say, profits, and our mind is filled with this quarter, am I going to declare my earnings properly or not? And otherwise, Wall Street may punish me if I'm a big company, or if I'm running that company, I may lose my job if I don't produce that. All those things come into life. This is the modern life, unnecessary worry, and also not able to understand our inner self, right? And stay there. That is what they talked about, and that is what I am focusing all the time and telling people, don't be reactive, but be proactive. Know what is that I need to do in my life, and then do that. You see? So the book is all about that, about how the ancient wisdom evolved and stayed for thousands of years, where the welfare of the human beings. The people who were really stationed in this, they didn't suffer because they are not reactive, right? And then they went out and helped people who are reacting and who are causing problems because out of what is called lack of the knowledge. That is the avidya kama karma. Avidya means lack of knowledge, ignorance about something, And according to the lack of ignorance, people are kama karma. They are desiring, they are going after things that may not be meaningful for them down the line, and then they may appear like something that is unnecessarily they are doing, and then they are kind of suffering because of that. So the karmas, all the actions happen because of your desires, and those are happening because of your ignorance that you already have all the everything desirable within you. The ancient way is about turning inward, being aware, being in the presence, and then looking at things from perceptive attitude, here and now. Not past experience. They may take some insight, but then how much focused are you here and now? What's that? Like, we're doing a exercise now. We always say, be here and now, be present, and then carry that like a fragrance to the world. Then whatever you do, you suppose something news comes that is disturbing your mind, you want to leave and go. But the ancient said they don't leave, they complete the work and go. Why? Because they don't allow the external things to really influence their inner reactions. Learn that. Use that as an asset. Like things happen with my life, for example. I would watch my mind because I practice it every day in the morning. So I'll be watching my mind as it is reacting. So the reactions won't overwhelm me, and then I use all that energy to solve the problem. It's not that problems won't happen. It's not that we won't solve. We will solve without this inner turmoil. They talked about we are like this sky of awareness, and in that all the cloud turmoil happen, but then they go away. The same with our mind. The mind being extraordinarily extensive, and then in that some few thoughts come and do the turmoil. Don't get caught in that. That is chitta vritti nirodha. Okay, so ancient studied our inner selves much better than what moderns are trying to do. There's a big research going on into consciousness, into what is our conscious self and all that. But the hard problem is, how is this inert substance is getting conscious? That's what the modern understanding was. Everything is in the mind. No. Ancient said consciousness actually manifests our body mind, and then consciousness continues. Consciousness is the one that you cannot manufacture, you cannot put into the artificial intelligence. They themselves said, we will think a lot, we'll think a lot like a human being, but we cannot really make them conscious human beings. All the machines. They're kind of, they're robotics, they're kind of making them look like human beings and all. But there's nothing like consciousness into the machine. They cannot be conscious by itself, right? That's why it's important to understand. We're not talking about one particular country. We're talking about our ancestors, human beings, anywhere. If you take the ancient, there was a discussion on stoicism yesterday. Some gentleman brought it up. Yeah, definitely being stoic, understanding what is the stoicism and all that. But everything not like a statement and that's the solution. No, statement, application, then the solution. Applying there happens, the less you are erudite about it, the more you understand the wisdom behind it. That's why I say ancient wisdom that was felt, applied, and learned. Those lessons are passed on to us. It's not just quoting it, it's not saying that is very good. They say, oh, what you said is very good. That doesn't matter. I will be okay on my own. But what about you? How are you following your problem? How are you solving your problem? That's why this book is written. Okay? Now it is our time to go into our exercise routines which we normally do every day, right? So let's do that. Let's assume sitting posture with our back straight, and then we will start with our exercise. This is a morning routine. I also reverse engineer from the stress and burnout I see with all the people that come and ask me about that. And a lot of people are sincere about it. A lot of people are really don't want to be stressed out life. They want to live balanced life. They have the capacity to deal with life. That's what I call inner resilience. For that, what we have devised is do four things. Every day in the morning, get up and exercise. Let the body exercise. In this case, we are stretching. At the same time, while you stretch, we take deep breaths. And then those two, and then for the body, then we try to focus our mind here and now. Don't allow it to go all over. Bring our attention to the breathing, the sensations in the body. That helps to keep our mind here and now. And then any thoughts come up, observe them and come back to the center, breathing. That's how you learn to focus your mind on what you are doing. That you can do all day. Okay, so be aware of what is happening now, and that is awareness in the morning. Live in that presence, and then take it to the work, and then be attentive to whatever you do. Okay, so we stretch our body, we breathe into it, and we keep our mind here and now. And any thoughts come up, we observe. These are the four things we do here in this routine. Three attitudes we cultivate. We don't want to react. So observe that. How I'm doing with stuff come at me. People may insult me. People may hurt me. Whatever. How am I doing that? How am I reacting? By understanding, reacting, reviewing them, and understanding they are not needed, they drop off. Okay. So don't be reactive, but respond to things with intelligence. And the second thing is be service oriented. Whatever you do, offer it like service to the God or to the human being, to the society, to the organization, whatever you are doing. Cultivate that attitude of service. Not my inner needs, but the needs of others. Okay. And then if you fail or if you win, take it equanimously. That equanimous attitude is very important because you can make failures stepping stones to success. But you are worshipping only success, ignoring the lessons you could learn from the failures, then you lost. You are a real failure if you don't learn from the failure. Okay? And then take that lesson. That's how we improvise everything. Anyway. Okay? So let us start with the Bastrika. Sit straight and
Babu, namaskar.
okay. So it's a kind of taking deep breath in and then deep breath out. So let the breath come in. Take deep breath in, hold it, and breathe out as the abdominal wall goes towards the spine. Okay. So we'll do 7 rounds of that. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay, that is Bastrika. Do that on an empty stomach and do that before meal. You can do 3 times or 2 times or 1 time. It's up to you. Okay, before meal. And the second one is Veganing. We can breathe quickly as you show your hands to the camera and then go up. As you take a deep breath in, extend the elbows up, all the way up. And as you breathe out, bring them down. Okay, that kind of prepares you for the other things we're going to do down the line. Now we're going to do the real diaphragmatic deep breathing. Clasp your hands, put them under the chin, and as the elbows raise and to the side and above the shoulders, you take a deep breath, head falls back to through the nose. Now open the mouth and say ah as you breathe out and bring the elbows down. The same principle of abdominal wall going in when you breathe out and abdominal wall coming out and you breathe in. Okay. Two. Three. Four. Slow, deliberate, keeping your mind here on the breath sensation and sensations in the body. Two more left. Okay, that is the preliminary breathing to bring us to this moment right after you awake. Okay, I do the 10 breaths as I wake up, sit on the side of the bed and do that. Okay, and keep my awareness here and now, and that doesn't go away from that. That is the present moment awareness I'm talking about. Okay, you can have thoughts coming, you can have a lot of things coming, deal with them and end it completely. That ending it is very important. Okay, and now we're going to do the spinal stretch. Clasp both hands together and show them to the camera and take them up, elbows extended, take them up all the way and stretch to the ceiling. Stretch to the ceiling and twist your body to the left torso and then turn the head over the left shoulder to the back. Three breaths there. Come to the center, stretch your ceiling and to the right. Turn the body first, then the head over the right shoulder to the back. Come to the center, stretch again the elbows to the top and lean back, lean back. And bring it to the center and take the hands down to the floor as low as you can go. Come up and release the hands. Okay. Take 3 deep breaths in between. Now, keep the right hand on the left shoulder and left hand on the right shoulder and twist the body to the left and turn the head over the left shoulder to the back. And come to the center and go to the other side. Come to the center, lean back. Come to the center, lean forward. And come up and release. Okay. Now we're going to do this twist at the lower lumbar spine, keeping the right hand on the left hip in the front and the left hand goes behind you towards the right hip in the back. And stay there, sit tall and twist your body to the left and the head over the left shoulder to the back. And come to the center, change hands. This time left hand comes to the right hip and right hand goes behind you towards the left hip, and turn your body and head to the right side. Look to the back and come to the center, and you're done. Okay, that is the really twisting the body bends, right? That way, this way, the spinal cord wakes up. Very important. Okay, you can do that just sitting in the bed. If you cannot really get out of the bed and do it, you can do it, and then you'll feel that energy wake up. Okay, and now we're going to do some head to toe. That way we have limbering all our joints from head to toe. Okay, start with the feet. Keep them both firmly on the floor, and then make sure your toes, your heels, and your soles, everything is clutching the ground. Okay, and now you just lift the toes on the heels, breathing in and breathing out, put them down and elevate the heels. One, breathe in as you bring the toes up, and breathe out as you put them down and bring the heels up. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, that is both the toes and ankles are worked. Now we're going coming to the knees. Lift up the right foot and extend the right knee and bring up the foot up as you take the deep breath in. As you breathe out, take it back and place it on the floor, right foot. Now do the left foot, lift it up as you breathe in. As both feet are done, I consider it one. Now start second with the right foot coming out. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. Eight. Okay. Now going to clasp both hands together, put it around the right knee. As you breathe out, bring the right thigh to touch the abdomen. As they breathe in, take it down. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. Eight. Okay. Now to the left side. Fold together the hands and then keep it around the left knee and bring it up as you breathe out as it touches the abdomen. Okay. So that is for the hips. Now we're going to do the side of the abdomen. Let the hands, both of them, hang around at the side of your body and lift up the right hand to the side and turn the palm upward and then bring it up to touch the right ear. And now dip to the left, feeling the stretch on this side. 4, 6, 8. Now lower the right hand down, lift up the left hand up, and turn the palm upward and come and touch the left ear. 4, 6, 8. Okay, that is for the side of the chest and also the abdomen. A lot of people have fat around there, right? So now bring both hands to the chest. Release the right hand to the side, extend the elbow to the side, and as you breathe in, take it all the way to the back. And now breathe out, bring it back to the center. Do it on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, it's up to the chest wall. Now we're going to go to the shoulders. Elevate them as you take a deep breath and bring them down as you breathe out. 4 complete. Okay, that is up to shoulder side. Now extend elbows to the side and bring the fingers to touch shoulders as you breathe out. As you breathe in, go out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, that's for the elbow. Now extend the hands to the front and do up and down. As you take the deep breath in and deep breath out. That's for the wrist. And tuck in your thumb and put all the fingers over the thumbs and then do up and down. Now open the fist and make a fist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have done all the way from the toes to the hands, and we have done shoulders, elbows, everything. Now we come to the neck. Look straight and take deep breath and turn the head to the left. Feel the stretch, and now breathing in, breathing out actually. Breathing in, you go to the side. Breathing out, you come to the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, do the head to the front and the back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in, take the chin up all the way. Breathe out, bring the chin to the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now bring the right hand to the right cheek. Press it and release. Do the left. Press it and release. Do both hands on the temple. Clasp hands together. Put it on the forehead. Press it and release. On the top of the head, press it. On the back of the head, press it. Release. That finishes our physical exercise and for today. Okay, so I think the people on the Restream, they are going to go out now because it's running out of battery and it's all the way up in my study. So sorry about that, but I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, all the people who are here. Okay, and I'll be continuing on the